Hello, everyone. So I am back to read another Choose Your Own Adventure, like I do every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. So tonight, excuse me, tonight I'm going to be reading Last Run, which is by R.A. Montgomery. Sorry, I hope the stream's working okay. I had a call coming in from the Red Cross. They're probably asking for another blood donation or something. All right. Anyways, yeah, so you can see this is Choose Your Own Adventure number 153. This is funny. It was withdrawn from the Johnson County Library. Not sure where that is. So it still has like the library binding here. This one's actually hardcover. Most of them are like softcover, but this is actually like hardcover binding. So that's kind of neat. All right, and yeah, this is 153, so this is one of the later ones. This cost $3.50 originally. So I'll read the back cover. You're the star. 7 exciting endings. That's not a lot. Can you slalom your way through this murder mystery? As an international ski racer, you've got a great reason to be on the slopes of the Italian Dolomites. However, you're really there to investigate the murder of your uncle. Even before completing your first run, you find yourself making a harrowing escape from the White Death. And you know the avalanche was no accident, especially when you meet Siegfried von Holzgraf. Danger lurks in high places, he warns. But he's no one to trust. So when he invites you to breakfast, you wonder if you should decline and check him out. On the other hand, here's a chance to start your investigation. Hey, I'm checking you out. All right. Hi, Rachel. If you decline Siegfried's breakfast invitation, turn to page 15. If you decide to accept this invitation, turn to page 16. Think carefully. Siegfried might be very useful, but any false step could be dangerous, if not deadly. Remember, these people play for keeps. What happens next in the story? It all depends on the choices you make. How does the story end? Only you can find out. And the best part is you can keep reading and rereading till you've had not one, but many incredibly daring experiences. These people play for keeps. He might try to keep us or something. I don't know. Okay. I thought you said, can you smile your way through this murder mystery? Yes, you can. Smile. The whole world smiles with you. Oh, some random thing. I was telling someone at work today about, we were talking about movies. We were talking about the movie Big. So they knew the movie Big, right? And that's from the 80s. And they were like, are there any other movies from that time where like a kid becomes an adult or stuff like that? I was like, well, there was that movie with George Burns. I can remember. That was also from the 80s. And then they were like, who's George Burns? And suddenly, like, all the hair on my head turned gray. And became an old man. All right. Here, yeah, sorry. Also, Antioch. All right. Now we know where that is. Kids can't stop reading the Choose Your Own Adventure stories. And they can't. They just can't. They're just forced to. They can't stop reading them. And teachers like them, too. As always. Yeah, we can ski our way through this murder mystery. Sure can. Choose Your Own Adventure 153. Last Run by R.A. Montgomery, illustrated by Frank Bowl. Johnson County Library in Shawnee Mission, Kansas. Okay, now we know what that is. This was originally published in November 1994. And the cover art is by Samson Pollen. Pollen, Pollen. Pollen. Warning. Oh, here's the close-up of that picture. The art. Where was it? That looks rad. Look at that. Going off a ski hill bump or something. I don't know anything about skiing. All right. Warning. Do not read this book straight through from beginning to end. These pages contain many different adventures you may have once you hit the slopes of the Italian Dolomites. From time to time as you read along, you will be asked to make a choice. Your choice may lead to success or disaster. Think carefully before you choose. The adventures you have are the results of your choices. You are responsible because you choose. After you make a decision, follow the instructions to find out what happens to you next. Though you're eager to make tracks in the investigation of your uncle's murder, you can't help being thrilled about the fabulous skiing you'll get to do. But be extra careful. If you do manage the hairy twists and jumps, your skiing skills might not be what it takes to face these slopes. Remember, you're in the company of dangerous suspects and ruthless murderers. Skiing might be your expertise. International intrigue is theirs. Good luck. Montgomery and Bell together again. Rad. Oh, I didn't know it does that. It shows up purple when you type in rad. Oh, here's the Dolomites or something. Dolomites, and that's a town or something there. Okay. Bowl. Oh, Montgomery and Bell. I was like, who's Bell? Woo! You can barely breathe. Snow crystals from the rotor blades of the copter fill the air, and despite your ducking down and covering your mouth and nose with the collar of your parka, the snow crystals have their way. But then the copter is up and gone, and you can breathe again. Far below you in the valley is Corvara, Italy, a small town tucked away in the Italian Dolomites, on the far side of the Alps. Well, let's do it, you yell to no one. With a push, you are over the small lip of the cornice, airborne for less than 2 seconds. Then, your skis hit the light powder snow, about 8 inches deep over a firm base. It is spring, and the ski season is drawing to a close. But the helicopter skiing and the upper slopes served by a giant tram are still excellent. This is your first run. But your main reason for being here isn't just the fabulous skiing. It's crime. 2 people have been murdered, and the suspicion is that their deaths are linked to $28 million that has disappeared from accounts in 2 Swiss banks and 1 Liechtenstein bank. 4 suspects in the crime, identified by a private detective agency in London, are gathered in the elegant Gulf Hotel, once a hunting lodge for an Austro-Hungarian prince, and the hotel where you are now staying. Look at that. We're so psyched. So psyched. I'm psyched right now. If you can barely breathe, 9 out of 10 doctors say you should not be skiing, right? I can't breathe. It must be because I'm excited. And not because I have lung cancer. Okay. Your favorite uncle, Gustav Hendrickson, is one of the victims. His death, caused by a hit-and-run driver in Amsterdam, Holland, was suspicious from the start. Part of the $28 million was his. That same day, a woman named Inga Maydorf was also mysteriously murdered. There seems to be no known link between her and your uncle, except that a receipt for a $6 million deposit into the same bank apparently used by Uncle Gustav was found in her handbag. Whether this is only a coincidence or not, Uncle Gustav's wife, Isabel Hendrickson, has begged you to seek out the truth and find the killers for her. The police in Holland and Switzerland seem to have hit only dead ends in the case. Maybe someone big, quote unquote, big, has paid them off. Why me? You ask Aunt Isabel over the phone when she called to ask you to investigate. You have often spent your summer vacations with her and Uncle Gustav at their home in Zurich, Switzerland, but you have never made that long trip during spring break. Because you are the only one I can trust, and because you are very bright and talented, was her reply. Okay. Go on to the next page. Well, I'm barely an adult, and hardly experienced in investigating crimes, you tell her. Precisely the point, she said. No one will suspect you. You will appear merely as a student on spring holiday. I will send you to the Golf Hotel in Corvara, Italy. Your skiing talents have been noted in the ski racing circles in Europe, as well as the U.S., so you have the perfect cover. I'd come along, but I must stay here to work with the police. They need my help following other major leads. Sus, dead. Just got here, Rob. Uncle Gustav is dead. Sorry, he's not still alive. We didn't even have a chance to like save his life. He was already dead before the story started. So yeah, totally dead. He's dead now. Yep. We're investigating his suspicious murder, and we're using our expert skiing skills as a cover. We're like, oh, we're just here to do some skiing on the powder or something. Oh, there's some skis. I don't know why you'd have your skis set up that way, but all right, turn to page 53. I think our aunt is just cheap. Aunt, not aunt, aunt. Okay. That was last week. You accepted, not knowing quite what you were getting into. Isabella airmailed you a computer disk with all the information she had on the suspects and the business that Uncle Gustav was involved with. Also enclosed was a note. Read this, study it, and then destroy it. Here are money, credit cards, and train and hotel reservations. I have included the telephone number of a friend in Rome who could be of help. Use it only in an emergency. Memorize it, then destroy it. Good luck. Be careful, and remember the honor of your family rests on your shoulders. Yeah, no pressure. Okay. 2 turns, tight and perfect. Then a long, slow arc and the deeper powder near a protruding rock face. Your skis hang beautifully, your upper body almost motionless, your legs absorbing the terrain and pushing the skis ever so slightly into the arcing turns. Crack! A sharp noise blasts through the still air. Adrenaline floods your body. Was that the sound of an avalanche? Or of a shot? Avalanche! Gustav and Isabella should not be allowed near children. Yeah, relatives are like always like shady and like more than willing to do things that are gonna like get us killed. This author is horny for skis. Yep. Your skis are so beautiful, glistening in the midday sun. Okay, page 40. Tons of snow cascade down the steep slope. You cannot run it. Your only hope is to ski out of its way, off to the side. Once again the air fills with snow crystals, making it hard to breathe. Cranking a turn to your right, you squirt out of the avalanche's path and hug a cliff face. Your skis slam against the rock. The avalanche roars on towards the bottom, leaving you unharmed. A thought runs through your head. The sharp cracking sound could have been a shot fired at you. Instead of hitting you, it caused the avalanche. I'm getting paranoid, you think. On the other hand, it is essential to stay alert at all times. The avalanche has left a path of junky snow. You edge out carefully and, after checking your skis, head down. There is still powder on the sides of the slope, but soon it runs out. The lower part of the mountain is a hard-packed, icy pist, I guess. Finally you reach the bottom, where the slopes converge into one open slope for beginners. There are very few skiers at this time of year, but the little kiosk that sells hot coffee, soda, small sandwiches called panini, and chocolate is open. Standing next to the kiosk is a short, rotund man, wearing a bright yellow tweed suit with vivid green checks. His handlebar mustache curls upward, partially covering his cheeks. He is munching on a panino and covering a paper cup of steaming coffee. Squirt. We squirted out of its path. I don't know. That's what it said. Sometimes you have to squirt out of something's path, I guess. And here's the guy. He definitely doesn't look shady at all. I see that sign. It says Panini. That's how we know we're in Italy. Because what kind of suit is that? We got a bunch of snow in his pants or something. That's cool. All right. Pay attention to the man behind the panini. That's right. Oh, pay no attention to the man behind the panini. Okay. Just hang out with that guy, that short, rotund man. Turn to page 12. One thing that never changes with Choose Your Own Adventure books is the fat shaming. That's the one constant. Did I see a page with a bunch of floppy disks on it? I did. I saw a page with a bunch of floppy disks on it. So, my good friend, you made it down safely. Good for you. Not everyone would have escaped the White Death so easily. I watched, he says to you, holding out a pair of very expensive-looking Zeiss binoculars to prove his point. Yes, you are handy on skis. I hope you are as handy on your feet. Danger lurks in high places. He smiles and takes a sip of the steaming brew. Thanks, you reply, bending down to pick up your skis. Their new design combines the best performance aspects of high-speed racing giant slalom skis with the quick turning versatility of an extreme ski, built for the tortures of almost vertical descents. This pair is an experimental design, given to you by a ski company that sponsors you during the racing season. They certainly served you well today, you think. I am Siegfried von Holtzkraft, and pleased to meet you. The man holds out his hand and shakes yours with surprising firmness. The smile makes his face look almost cherubic. Your instinct is to like him, but beware, you remind yourself. The chop 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 of a helicopter punches holes in the calm. Your eyes scan the sky, finding the small speck close to where you started the morning's run. Please invite us to breakfast. He has Zeiss binoculars, right? So you gotta. R.A. Montgomery has some secret messages in this book. I wonder what kind of. Yeah, I'm like the skiing stuff is pretty sensual, you know. Oh wow. Those might be some secret messages there, maybe. You must invite us to breakfast. You must invite us in. You are also staying at the golf, no doubt, Siegfried says. You nod. Siegfried glances at his watch. It's already 10, and I haven't eaten a thing. I hate to miss a meal. Why don't you join me for a late breakfast? Wasn't he just eating a panini? You must be starved, particularly after such a near miss. Didn't he just finish gobbling down that panino, you think to yourself? Nevertheless, this could be an excellent opportunity to do some initial spade work and find out what is going on in the golf hotel. Siegfried seems to be the type of person who would know all the juice, a born snooper. You have not studied the files yet. You are planning to do that this afternoon after surveying the guests in the hotel. A false step now could be unfortunate, if not dangerous. Remember, these people play for keeps. You could refuse his invitation to breakfast, suggest a meeting later, giving you time to go to your room and study the files, or you could accept and begin your investigation immediately. Siegfried looks useful. Oh, we are definitely having breakfast. Ooh, juice. Yeah, just 7 endings. If you decide to refuse the invitation and return to your room, turn to page 15. If you decide to accept the late breakfast invitation with Siegfried, turn to page 16. Isn't that basically brunch, right? It's late breakfast, or in other words, brunch. You decide to have late breakfast with him. It's also called brunch, you learn. That he says he knows all the juice. He does. So we're going to breakfast with Siegfried. Breakfast. Or page 16, okay. At least he's saying that he knows all the juice and not... If this was like a Choose Your Own Adventure from 1982, it'd probably be something racist like knows all the Jews or something. You know, so they're getting better. We haven't seen an Indian yet, so but that's probably next. They'll probably show up. Probably do some racist stuff. All right, page 16. Yeah, how can we not have breakfast with this guy? I'd love to join you for breakfast, but first, let me drop off my skis and change, you say to Siegfried. Fine, fine. Why don't we meet in the lobby of the Golf in about an hour? Okay with you? Great. See you soon. As you turn to head towards the hotel, you realize you might have a moment to take a glimpse at the files before you meet Siegfried. You quicken your step. With a rush of cold air from the outside, you enter the lobby of your hotel. It's warm, and you can't wait to unload all your stuff. As you make your way to the elevator, you hear, "Pardon, pardon," again. "Pardon, pardon." Instinctively you turn and realize a bellboy is calling to you. "Please, here is a letter for you," he says with a strong Italian accent. He hands you an envelope. You wonder whom it could possibly be from. Probably Aunt Isabella. You turn it over and see that it is addressed to one R. Dunbarton. A look of disappointment crosses your face. "I'm sorry, this isn't for me. You've got the wrong person," you explain. The bellboy looks confused. "But you are not a friend of Isabella Hendrickson? A man said to give it to you." Go on to the next page. So either way, we're going to our room. "It's me, the bellboy." "I have a strong Italian accent. Manja manja." Go on to the next page. All right. "Well, Isabella Hendrickson is my aunt, but I'm afraid you've mistaken me for someone else." You hand the letter back. Just then you think to yourself, maybe this R. Dunbarton is involved in your uncle's case. Important clues could be escaping your hands at this very moment. Should you take the letter? Too late. The bellboy grabs and pockets it. "Sorry for the bother," he says, and turns away. Crime is no easy task. Another lesson learned. You promise yourself to be more alert with Siegfried. "Oh, I've got to shake a leg," you realize. You don't want to keep Siegfried waiting, but valuable time has been wasted. There's no time to check the files. You hurry to your room and quickly change. Well, you know there's a lot of files when you have all these floppy disks. You know it's serious business. Turn to page 49. "It's me. I got this strong accent." Okay. Breakfast, you soon discover, is far from what Siegfried has in mind. He takes you to a small inn near the hotel, on a back street crowded with shops and a few mean-looking bars. "Here, we will take coffee here," Siegfried says, but you see no restaurant. The place he indicates is a shabby bar. You enter through the door into a smoke-filled room with half a dozen men in overalls, boots, and rough sweaters huddled over coffee and little glasses of amber-colored liquid, which you take for brandy. "Ah," you think to yourself, "how could anyone take a drink so early in the day?" Siegfried nods at the man behind the bar, who in turn beckons to another man who rises from his chair and locks the door. The slatted blinds are pulled, and the rest of the men in the room turn towards you. That's not bad. Rough sweaters. Rough. What does that mean? You know we're in trouble when you see a bunch of men with rough sweaters. Don't want to mess with them. Yeah, bring a 12-year-old to a bar. "We have a nice breakfast here, eh? Eat up." All right. "So, excuse me. So now we are together. We are all friends, and you are safe, at least for the time being," Siegfried announces. His attitude is firm, and he is definitely in control. This ridiculous little man has turned into a very firm commander in the twinkling of an eye. You hear it in his voice, see it in his eyes, and his manner is no longer bumptious. "There is a decision you must make, my young friend, and no one can help you make it," Siegfried says. "Certainly, we can hold you here, or take you away to Rome, or Paris, or Helsinki, or anywhere we wish. But, and this is a big but, we'd prefer that you avoid any and all unpleasantness and freely join with us. We need you much more than your aunt, however gracious she may be." "My aunt? What has she got to do with all this? And why me? I mean, it seems that everybody needs good old me. I know nothing. I don't even know what this is all about. Somebody murdered my uncle and stole his money. Is it Uncle Gustav's will you're after?" Not quite, but you're getting closer. The will? No. But the power the will gives extends to much more than the money. Do you understand? Siegfried says. The man guarding the door suddenly hisses. He holds his hand up. Something's happening out there, he says. What? Siegfried asks. Turn to page 107. It's a big butt. They like big butts, and they cannot lie. Oh, page 47. Oh, on page 107. Okay. You were just about to comment on this bumptious. I was too. It's so bumptious. 107. All right. Whoa. Before the guard at the door can reply, two men burst into the room. They both hold automatic weapons. Freeze! One shouts. Several of the men in the room reach for weapons in their jackets and are savagely cut down for their efforts. Two others succeed in hiding themselves behind the bar. They return fire. Siegfried grabs your arm and motions toward the side door. You need no further prodding and bound for the door. It gives way easily to your push, and you and Siegfried are outside and running. The trouble is that Siegfried is no athlete. Despite being spurred by sheer terror, his speed is marginal. You could leave him, or you could push him into the doorway of a shop just to your right. No one is following you at this moment, but there's no time to dilly-dally. There's all the guys in the bar. Okay. Everyone getting shot. That's how you know it's an American book. I'll get shot at one point. Wait, that pic? Yeah. It's like just everybody getting shot. Yep. Look at that guy. He's like, did he get shot or just like have a heart attack or something? And that guy spilled his beer. That's a lot going on in that photo. In that drawing. They're trying to talk about fat. He's so slow, and he's certainly no athlete. Okay. If you decide to leave Siegfried and run for it, turn to page 78. If you decide to stick with Siegfried, turn to page 59. I feel like somebody told the illustrator that this book is about the evils of being a beatnik. Right. We can't leave our best friend? Is he our best friend? Oh man, this is crazy. Like, this guy's like shooting at this guy, and it's like he's not even phased. He's like, yeah, okay. Some bullets might go through my head any second now, but yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna shoot at this other guy. Like, no one's shooting. No one's shooting at that guy, the tall guy. Like, nobody. Okay. Siegfried is as good as dead. Leave Ziggy. Valerie says we can't leave our best friend. Stick with Siegfried and his marginal speed. I guess we'll stick with Siegfried. Seems to be the... This kid better not try running with me. Alright, we'll stick with Siegfried. He's as good as dead without our help. Alright. Page 59. You can't bring yourself to leave Siegfried to the fate of the thugs, so you grab him and practically throw him into the entranceway of a dingy shop on the narrow street. And just in time, two men rush by, and you know they are the killers. Stay here, you command Siegfried. I'll check the place out, and if it's clear, I'll come back. If I don't return, you're on your own. You don't have to help me, Siegfried says. No time for discussion. We're all in this together, you reply. Then you're off down the dark hallway and into a storage room. There is little light, and you bump into a large wooden box that blocks your path. Drat! You exclaim loudly. Who's that? Comes a voice. You stop, frozen in your tracks. The question has been phrased in English. Very strange indeed for a storage room in an Italian town. "Is that you, Peter?" comes the voice. You take a risk. "No, I'm not Peter." "Then who are you?" "I'm out of here," is your reply, and you don't wait to find out who the person is. You make it back to Siegfried, who seems composed, almost relaxed. All right, there's the two killers there going down the street. Yeah, no, it's a good thing he's not wearing anything that's like easily identifiable. Definitely. They'll never think to look at him and think he's maybe Siegfried. That must have been like so difficult to draw all those like checkerboard patterns. Man. Turn to page 4. 4. "Well done, my young friend. We could really use you in our business," Siegfried says. He takes your hand and leads you ever so cautiously to the doorway. The coast is clear, and the two of you exit and walk quickly to the heart of the small town. "Here, we might be safe here," Siegfried says, leading you to a small cafe. Not another cafe, you think to yourself, but this one is quaint and completely deserted. The clerk at the counter nods and points to a table in the back room. "I thought we would be safe in the other place. That didn't turn out to be true, did it?" he says. "Perhaps here we will have some time to ourselves." His last few words are drowned out by the bleep bleep of police cars speeding by, headed no doubt to the scene of mayhem in the rough cafe. "What's going on?" you demand as you follow him. Fear has left you, replaced by a current of determination tinged with anger. "You, my young friend, are the subject of much concern to many people." "Why me?" "Yes, we're best friends now. Siegfried and us." "You will have to trust me," Siegfried tells you, as you take your seats in the back of the small cafe. "My name is Piero Francesco. My name is not Siegfried von Holtzgraf. I am not Hungarian, or Austrian, or Russian. I am an Italian investigator for a secret commission. We are tracking down an organization of very powerful international criminals. Their bag of tricks includes murder, along with bribery and blackmail." "Great! But why me? I don't know anything about all this," you say. "Ah, but you do not know whether you know it or not. Your uncle Gustav Hendrickson was one of us. It was he who risked his life as an undercover agent, penetrating deep into the highest circles." "What circles?" you ask. "There was a group called the Meridians. They represent a select number of wealthy individuals around the world. Their group has been in existence for more than 1,000 years. New members are carefully selected and trained to replace the aged or dead ones. They try to control the world through financial markets, government, and the military. Often they succeed." Okay, but who's my uncle to you, you ask? Wow, we're gonna see that outfit a lot, I guess. It looks like we're drinking a soda pop. Obviously, it's got a little straw in it and everything. Okay. Page 70. However, I am a liar. Often they fail. But they also succeed a lot, too. Often they fail, but often they succeed. Often they sort of don't fail, but don't succeed, but something in the middle. Anyways. Simply put, the Meridians have built up an $800 million war chest to bribe some very powerful people in Europe, Asia, and the US. If they succeed, they will control and dominate the monetary systems of the world. Then we will all be peasants working for them. Your uncle had begun to empty some of the secret accounts of the money. He also made a list of the people to be bribed, or who had already been bribed. That's why he was killed, wasn't it, you say? Yes, as was the poor young lady Inga Maydorf. She was one of our agents. Her fiancé is working undercover as a ski instructor and guide. His name is Gerard. You still haven't answered my question. Why me? Simple. Your uncle named you in his will as his sole heir. You alone have access to his papers and his safe deposit box. We believe the names and account numbers are there. They, too, believe that. That is why they want you. Alive, I might add. But my Aunt Isabella, you say? She is one of them. Your uncle found that out all too late in the game, he says, lighting up a foul-smelling cigarette. He sips his coffee thoughtfully. So, what now, you ask? A rush of fear overwhelms you. He didn't leave his... Oh, but, our uncle didn't leave his wife anything? Well, she was with them. She was with the Meridians or whatever. Oh. They're not going to be able to bribe Bezos with those peanuts. Yeah, that's not going to go very far. Will you tell us what we need to know about the Meridians? No, I don't think so. They offered me a lot more money, so I think I'm going to join them instead. How's that? I like them apples. Page 116. All right. Very simple. You and I tried to leave this town alive and make our way back to Trento. There will we have adequate protection, although the Meridians have far-reaching claws. There is no place that is truly safe. Siegfried, Piero, what should I call you? Siegfried will do. Okay, Siegfried, let's get this straight. You want the list of names and the numbers of the secret bank accounts, right? Exactly, he replies. Tell me what to do, and I'll do it. But let's get out of here. Oh, and one more thing. How do I know that you are who you say you are? How can I believe anyone anymore, you ask yourself. My friend, you will have to take it on faith. After all, what are our alternatives? Come now, let us go. I have a car out back. Hurry. If you decide to trust Siegfried and leave with him in the car, turn to page 90. If you decide that he is an imposter and try to make a dash for it, turn to page 68. Trust him? Trust Siegfried? Anyone else think we should trust Siegfried? Maybe he'll take us to his friend Roy. And we'll all go on adventures. Siegfried is super shady, but I also don't trust this kid. I mean, can we ever trust the main character? Talk about like an unreliable narrator. Yeah, I guess we'll trust him then. Get into his car. Get out of his dreams and get into his car. Page 90. Okay, let's hit it, you say, already moving for the door. Siegfried is up and moving also. You make it to the car, jump in, and moments later are on the winding road out of town. Siegfried drives like a wild man, but he is quite competent behind the wheel. That is, until he takes a corner too high and too fast. The black sports sedan desperately tries to grip the road, but it fails. The car, with you and Siegfried inside, soars out over the cliffside and tumbles more than 1,000 feet to the rocks below. News of your accidental deaths comes as an unexpected favor to the Meridians, who proceed unchecked on their way to more domination and control. The end. Whoa. All right. That's like that. Well, that's a scene from a lot of different movies. Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's the end of that. We didn't even get killed by the Meridians. No, just our own incompetence. Right. Well, I guess we can't go with Siegfried then. That's weird. Sigh, more domination and control. Yep. Well, should we decide that he's an imposter and try to make a dash for it? We want to stay... Well, I can't really stay with him, I guess. Just our own... Yeah. Right, I guess we'll try to run from him. Page 68. Oh. Don't! Siegfried screams out as you leap from your chair and make for the cafe door. You run right into the arms of a stocky Asian man who executes 2 classic karate movements and renders you helpless. We have been looking for you, he says. Do be helpful and come quietly. Chin Li, Siegfried says calmly, almost in disbelief. The last you see of Siegfried is a figure desperately trying to escape, only to be stopped by one of Chin Li's men. The end. Wait, so... Well, I mean, I don't know what's worse. In one, we get hit by 2 classic karate movements, but we're not dead. We found the racism. Yep. If you see a stocky Asian man, he probably knows some karate, right? Because all Asians know some kind of martial art. And then all the floppy disks spelled out. Yep. Chin Li. Yep, it's Chin Li and Chin Li's men. Yeah. Okay. Wow. So we had 2 choices and both of them led to our deaths. Well, we could go back to this and like decide to leave Siegfried. Did we ever have an option of, like, things ending up okay with Siegfried? I don't think so. I think our relationship with Siegfried was doomed from the start. Totally doomed. Yeah, no, I don't think anything... Wow. I guess the writer decided that they really hated Siegfried, because... That was like pretty much like a dead end. Yeah. Right? Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, I think Siegfried was like going with Siegfried just led to certain death. Alright, let's go back to the big shootout. No, that's not the big shootout. Where was it? Somewhere. No. Wow, there it is. Alright, so we have to leave Siegfried. All that is left is no breakfast? Yeah, no breakfast, right. Well, let's try to leave Siegfried, I guess, then. Or do we want to go back to just decline his offer of breakfast? Page 78. Just leave Siegfried to his fate. You leave Siegfried and run for it. After all, who is he to you? You don't know him. Maybe it's no coincidence that every time he's been around, you've had a brush with death. It's time for a break. Run, feet, run! You exclaim, accelerating around the corner and heading for the safety of the lobby of the golf hotel. Blam, blam, blam! 3 sharp explosions reverberate through the narrow street. You know they are shots, and you envision the crumpled body of Siegfried leaking blood into the cold cobblestones of the street. The thought enters your brain, for the next shots will be aimed at you. You summon all the energy and willpower needed to make this the fastest sprint of your life. Your lungs supply oxygen to the blood. Your muscles respond with amazing dedication. And you seem to have almost a heightened sense of time and space and vision. Run, feet, run! Run, Forrest! Page 83. You make it to the hotel, but where to go now? Your room is probably not safe. The lobby has people in it, but would they be any protection if the killers were to burst in? Just at that moment, you hear the concierge of the hotel announce the imminent departure of the shuttle to the tramway station. There, you could take a cable car to the top of the mountain and the snowfields. A group of about 10 people stands outside at the shuttle stop. You must make a decision quickly. If you decide to stay in the lobby, hoping that you won't meet any killers, turn to page 50. If you decide to hop on the shuttle, turn to page 88. Oh, Snappy's been Siegfried from his mortal coil. Oh. Yeah, we need to get checked for asthma. That is true. Get on the shuttle. Get on that shuttle, really? I mean, yeah, we just have to kind of, if we stay in the lobby, we just have to sort of hope that we don't meet any killers. But you know, we're always going to meet killers at one point or another. Or if it was the killers, then that wouldn't be so bad. Have to go on the, yeah, we got to go on the rickety shuttle. Okay. Page 88. Your skis and boots are right where you left them in the ski room near the lobby. It takes only a second to grab them and hop on the shuttle for the tram station. Your eyes survey the others on the shuttle. Looks fine, you think. This is the last tram of the day. The snow on the high part of the mountain should be perfect, but lower down, where the sun has been shining, it will be slush. The slush will turn to ice quickly once the sun is off the slopes. The tram rests in its station, waiting for its passengers. You move quickly and gain a position by the doorway, just in case. There aren't many people, and the tram slides easily away and up to the high station above. It sways slightly and rocks as it passes over the huge towers spread out at intervals up the mountainside. The fear within you subsides ever so slightly, but you remain on guard. Finally, you reach the top station. The air is colder up here, and the wind is snuffling a bit. You move quickly and put on your skis. Kovara is part of a ski circus, or cluster of resorts, that circles the Sela Mountains like a chain. This group is called the Sela Ronda. From this station, you can ski down the other side and end up in a different resort town, and from there, you can escape this mad group of adversaries. Mad group of adversaries. I'm hoping the killers are on the shuttle and dump us off. There's a chance to ride something with a cable that could snap, but you have to take it. Yes. Like snuffling? That is a weird verb. Well, how else are kids going to learn weird verbs? But from Choose Your Own Adventure book. I did say ski circus. I don't know what a ski circus is, but that's what it says. Turn to page 69. At the top of the mountain, a cluster of signs points to the different towns of the Sela Ronda. You choose the piste that drops into the town of Araba. Hurriedly you put on your boots, zip your parka, snap on your skis, and with one last search of the small crowd, push off. The snow is really good, and your skis find their way down a steep pitch that causes your blood to pulse with pure love of mountains and life. For the time being, you are free of the madness back at the Gulf Hotel. In front of you, 2 skiers have stopped and are watching you. A shiver of fear and premonition overtakes you. Could these be more of the devils, you ask yourself? The piste drops straight towards them, but there is an alternative, a head wall or cliff that drops away to the right. Several ski tracks lead to the lip. Someone must have skied it. You don't hesitate but carve a beautiful high-speed arcing turn and head for the lip. Before you know it, you are over the lip, catching huge air, and then down into superb powder, snow up to your knees. You follow 2 tracks that plunge to the valley floor and the town of Araba. Snufflings went down, had a tube in her nose, and was eating food and making sniffly noises. He's not using the standard thesaurus. Between snuffling and squirting, he's not using the standard one. I agree there. The run to the bottom turns from steep to gentle, and the slushy snow on the bottom half of the mountain makes skiing tricky, but you reach the town safely. It doesn't take long to hire a car to take you to the town of Trento, and from there, straight on to Rome. The next morning, you present yourself at the U.S. Embassy and demand to talk with the ambassador. You, of course, are turned over to a young minor official who sees you as yet another obnoxious tourist in trouble. Your story sounds unbelievable, even to you, and the embassy assistant rolls her eyes in disbelief. But finally she says, I'm turning you over to one of our special people. Good luck. The special person turns out to be connected to an intelligence group concentrating on crime at high levels of government and industry throughout the world. This person takes everything you say seriously, particularly when you identify yourself as a relative of Gustav Hendrickson. The next 48 hours are a blur as you are shuttled to Paris, then Bonn, and finally to Washington, D.C. Papers recovered from a safe deposit vault in Brussels, Belgium, provide a complete list of government officials from around the world who have either been bribed or who are ready to accept bribes. There are some sentences in the book that feel like Montgomery wrote a normal sentence in Google Translate, then translated it into Norwegian, translated it back to English, and then put the final result in the book. That would make sense. Like, people don't squirt when they're going skiing, unless like something seriously wrong with them. Page 103. The information is staggering, and you are sworn to secrecy. Any leak of the names of persons involved could lead to worldwide instability. Plans to deal with their situation remain top secret. Problems in Japan and Italy have already made the worldwide situation difficult. Public confidence in government in these nations has been shaken. People are frightened and cautious in many parts of the world. A disturbing thought that nips at you is the idea that the people who appear to be helping you might well be connected with a strange group in the Gulf Hotel. Nowhere in any newspaper or TV news show has there been mention of the capture, arrest, or indictment of the group. It is as if everything that happened to you was only a dream. Who knows, you say to yourself. Money can do strange things to people. Corruption goes up, down, and sideways. The big issue is that the economies of the world's nations are so interconnected that pressure on one will result in pressure on the other. It's like a huge hydraulic system. Nations, like people, are not isolated. They depend upon one another for survival and growth, and can in turn cause disaster for one another. You wonder which way it will all end. The government agents snorkel you. The government agents snorkel you into a small room and begin flatulating you. Tell us what we want to know, or we'll flatulate you some more. Alright, snorkel them somewhere else. Montgomery is explaining gas inflation to us, yes. Yeah, this seems pretty timely. Oh, we want to try... Let's see what happens maybe if we don't have breakfast with, what's his name? What if we're just like, nope, not having breakfast with you. You look a little too rotund for me. It's alright. Page 39. Wow. Took a while before we had to make a choice. Yeah, let's refuse the invitation and return to our room. No Siegfried. He only ended up getting us killed if we stuck with him. So thank you very much, Mr. Holtzgraf, you say. I'm afraid that I must decline. Perhaps we could meet some other time. I would love to talk with you. Why don't you call me later today? Yes, that would be fine. Siegfried gives a small bow and waddles off. Shouldering your skis, Poles in hand, you are about to head back to the hotel, a mere 30 yards away, when the old man who operates the kiosk says to you in a heavy Italian accent, "That man is a prince. Do not forget it." "A what?" you ask. "A prince, of the once famous Hungarian royal family. He is to be respected." "Thanks for telling me," you reply, and head off. The helicopter noise is louder, and finally, the craft dips into view, hovers, and touches down. Two people in dark ski clothes climb out without closing the door of the cabin. They duck to clear the slowly rotating blades and hurry away. The copter immediately leaves. Oh, this must be the two guys that are off to go kill Siegfried. Well, good luck, Siegfried. Waddles off. He just waddled off. He's like the Penguin from Batman Returns. Wow. Alright, page 54. He was a prince? I don't think so. Finally, you reach the sanctuary of your room at the Gulf Hotel. The room is small, but from the windows, and especially from your private terrace, you have a magnificent view of the Dolomites, those proud pinnacles that guard the Alps. The snowfields sparkle in the late morning light. Your laptop computer sits on the desk next to the bed. Wait a minute, has someone moved it? Has someone used it, you wonder? There is some subtle change, but it could have been the maid. The battery light is blinking, indicating the computer is at the ebb of its power. No problem. You plug it in. But hold it. You didn't leave it on, did you? You ask yourself. You're not sure. Wow, we've got a laptop. We're pretty fancy. And a bunch of floppy disks. Woo! Man, we're really styling here. Definitely, it's definitely the 90s now. We got a laptop. Turn to page 18. Best to be on guard, you think. You reach for the disk, slip it into the machine, and let it boot. Then you open the file and review what is there. Siegfried von Holzgraf, 89. Chin Lee, 22. Art Funk, 26. Dominique Pascal, 30. Locked file. Access X command code required, 42. Gustav Hendrickson and Associates, 79. Choose a file to serve by going to the page number indicated next to the file name. Do this now. Review all the files. When you are finished, turn to page 36. What, we have to read a bunch of files? That's not fun. Well, let's start with numerical order, I guess. I'm having an art funk. I guess I gotta start with Chin Lee. That's page 22. All right, Chin Lee, 54. Alias, Forgotten Foot. Birthplace, China. Home, Hong Kong. Aboard a Chinese junk registered in Panama. Occupation, illegal operations, smuggling guns, drugs, and people. Counterfeit art objects and jewelry. Right. And then, says he's the son of a Chinese warlord from the Mongolian plateau. A bunch of racist stuff. Some more racist stuff. He gambled away his fortune. Okay. He's involved with slavery, Vietnamese boat people, some more bad stuff. Opium lords. Okay. So, alright. He's doing a lot of stuff. He's pretty busy. Art Funk is my favorite EDM band. Alright, what's next? Art Funk. Art Funk. Arnold Morris, alias Art Funk. Los Angeles, California. Musician. He has long, dirty blonde hair. Flabby. Art Funk is an American rock star whose band, the Dimwits, is a mixture of folk, rap, punk, heavy metal, and grunge. That's like pretty much everything. Art wears oversized farmer coveralls, a hard hat, and a chain metal vest. Members of his band wear monk's robes in dark red. The Dimwits have remained at the top of the charts for the past 18 months, but Art is believed to have quit the band. Band could be a cover-up for international underworld activities. He grew up in a small town in Iowa, has a long rap sheet. His latest passion is snowboarding. Travels in tough circles, always needs money. Okay. Dominique Pascal. I'm afraid to find out what about this guy. Dominique Pascal, 17, athletic, French citizen, born and brought up in Bangkok, is daughter of a French rubber plantation owners who escaped Vietnam after the French military disaster. Pascal has been in school in France for the last 3 years. She has developed a love of skiing and is often found in the Dolomites on vacation. Her father is connected to an outlaw guerrilla group. She speaks Thai, Mandarin, Chinese, English, and French. Studied ballet and traditional Thai dance forms. He's never listened to any of these genres. Yeah. Page 42. That one's locked. It's a locked file. Gustav Henriksen has been under surveillance by Interpol, the Japanese intelligence group, and the Thai Secret Service. Gustav Henriksen is an alias. Real name seems to be Anthony Squibb. Born in northern Wales. Father is a minor diplomat, mother Danish, a novelist but not yet well known. Wife seems to be unaware of his origins, but believes him to be what he says he is. Investor in specializing in Asian companies. It's just Asian companies. All Asian companies. That's like a million different countries. I just invest in all of them. Sole heir to his estate is the child of his deceased sister. Follow up on this heir. Wonder who that is. Alright. Oh, and then Siegfried von Holzgraf. Okay. Password is password. We pretty much know about him. Birthplace, Russia. International con artist. Stock schemes. Consider this man an extremely dangerous adversary. The von title is believed false. He cultivates European and Asian royalty. Can speak 6 languages: English, French, German, Serbo-Croatian, Mandarin, Chinese, and Russian. Skin on fingertips or right hands appears to have been surgically removed. Alright. That's pretty much all of it. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Now we turn to page 36. And we'll find out how useless all of that was. So now you have read the confidential reports prepared by the Sobalt Agency Limited of London, England, for your aunt. But many questions remain. Why choose you to do the search? Why not continue with Sobalt? I have no idea what Sobalt is. Okay. It's like, kind of came out of nowhere. What are the comments about possible blackmail subjects and secret files on Henriksen all about? Who are the Sobalt people? Is there something fishy about the whole setup? There sure is. There's something fishy about this book. Are you being set up? And if so, why? What do they want from you? Different possibilities hit you. First off, you could be being used as some kind of shield. But for whom and why? Uncle Gustav left a will in which you are named as the sole heir to his fortune, if indeed there is any left. Maybe someone wants you out of the way. Maybe, just maybe, the whole thing is a scam run by some government to smoke out some high-placed crooks in Europe. Maybe all these people are secret agents, and you are the guinea pig. Money needed to fuel the expanding economies of both developed and developing nations has posed a worldwide problem. Fortunes are being made by businessmen, government officials, lawyers, and bankers at the expense of the people. It's like a free-for-all. The rewards are so great that the risks seem minimal. Shield. We're being used by Shield? I think someone was smoked out when right. Yeah, they were already smoked out. They had to keep themselves smoked out in order to get through writing this. You remember your uncle having told you about payoffs to government officials in Japan, the US, and Germany. Those opposed to such payoffs feel powerless to do anything about them. The bureaucracy of government is too large, and the officials involved too powerful. The patrons of the Gulf Hotel might well be deeply involved in such schemes. If your Uncle Gustav was involved, then you must do something to counter it, unless Gustav was playing a double game. After hanging up your clothes, you stretch out on your bed and ponder what might be going on. I'm pondering that too, about what's going on exactly. Your first day in Corvara has certainly been eventful. You wonder who will approach you next. Your thoughts are interrupted by the sound of a helicopter returning to the valley floor. The memory of the avalanche and your escape from the White Death floods back. There is a knock at your door. You freeze. What now? Room service. I have a package for you, a voice announces. There is no accent. The English is flat and unidentifiable. Just leave it outside the door, you reply on the spur of the moment. Certainly. You will enjoy this present, says the voice. Ooh. It's like that SNL sketch where it was like a shark trying to get in. It's like, Candygram. Open up. The last comment bothers you. How does the bellhop, or whoever he is, know whether or not you will enjoy this present? And that it's to him. And what's it to him? Just open the door, you think to yourself. Forget the reports. But you can't be too careful. These people play for keeps. You remember the autopsy report and the information on the girl with her throat slit in Rome. Okay. Don't know. Is it ticking? You're going to enjoy this. You're going to enjoy it so much. If you ignore the gift, turn to page 109. If you decide to open the door and accept the gift, turn to page 10. Wait. Enjoy the gift. Enjoy it. Anyone else think we should enjoy the gift? Enjoy it so much. Enjoy it. Yeah, we might enjoy it. I enjoy it a little bit. Anyone else think we should enjoy rhymes with dead body? It sure does. Enjoy it. I can't wait to enjoy our gift. It's so enjoyable. You decide to go ahead and have a look at the package. You are a sucker for gifts. Christmas, birthdays, any old time. You really like to get them. Half the fun is guessing what is in the box. This is well known to your family. The gift is probably just Aunt Isabella being nice. The door opens on well-oiled hinges. The corridor is empty, long, sunlit, and elegant. The green carpet is thick and luxurious, a perfect setting for a large basket of fruit and candy wrapped in cellophane. You are a little disappointed. You would have preferred a package to unwrap. Who wants a bunch of grapefruit and some moldy peaches anyway? But you pick up the basket and bring it into your room. There is a card stuck between the grapes and the bananas. You reach for it. That's odd. The card is blank. There is also a box of fine chocolates from the chocolate store just next to the hotel. You hope there are chocolate-covered cherries in the box. And here we go. Get killed. So this book is like called Last Run, and we're like skiing, and like there's hardly any skiing in this book. It's all about like international politics and like, you know. Suddenly your instinct takes over, and you regard the package with new suspicion. Perhaps this is a bomb, you think. I'll get rid of it, you tell yourself. A good snowbank will be the place. It will absorb any blast. I'll inform the local police. The snow should keep it from hurting any innocent bystander. You creep out into the hallway and down the stairs, avoiding the elevator. No sense in attracting attention. You gain the outside unobserved. The huge bank of snow, left over from the winter's plowing, borders the parking lot of the hotel. It doesn't take you long to bury the package deeply, and you hope safely. You make your way to the police station. There you are subjected to detailed questioning before a team is sent out to examine the bomb. So now we're just assuming that it is a bomb? A snowbank will absorb any blast? Yeah. I mean, we're expert skiers, so we would know that. Like when the thing I've already like blown up, like this could be a bomb. I just thought of that now after I already like opened the door and took it inside the hotel room. Yes. There you are subject to detailed questioning before a team is sent out to examine the bomb. Hours later the team returns. The item is just what it appeared to be, a basket of fruit. You are warned not to harass the police. They are angry, to say the least. For your part, you are embarrassed, but you vow to yourself to remain on guard. At least the fruit is like frozen now, so it hasn't gone bad. You finally get some rest. Ring, ring. The telephone next to your bed breaks into your thoughts with a harsh, loud bell. You jump up from the bed and approach the telephone warily. Hello, you say? There is silence on the instrument. No voice, no breathing, no mechanical clicking, just silence. Who is this, you demand? More silence. Then a click and the sound of the desk clerk asking, May I help you? No, sorry, wrong number, is your reply. As you move slowly and thoughtfully back to your desk, your eye is caught by a piece of white paper protruding from beneath your door. You pick it up. Your name is written in a beautiful hand in purple ink. Opening it, you find a cream-colored card with the following message. Please be so kind as to join us tomorrow for a ski tour and picnic. We will leave promptly at 7:30 a.m. We have never met, but we assure you that our company will delight you. Friends of Gustav, age 34. Well, it's Friends of Gustav because Gustav is probably dead at this point. You're nervous, but excited about the picnic. Could be the ideal way to get to know these people and find out what's on their minds. They might very well be the people you are after. That afternoon and night pass uneventfully. At 7:30 sharp the next morning, you join the group, ready for the ski picnic. Welcome! So glad you are joining us. We will all feel safer having so distinguished a skier as you in our midst, says a corpulent Asian gentleman. You take to be Chin Lee. Really, I'm nothing important in the ski world, you reply modestly, but secretly you are pleased at being so addressed. Actually, despite your rather young years, you are regarded by some as a potential world ski racing champion. Your downhill results in the U.S. have been impressive in the junior nationals, and recently in the nationals. You have been invited to 2 summer racing camps, one at Mount Hood, Oregon, and the other in Las Lenas, Argentina. These are selection camps for the U.S. ski team. Corpulent, yes. Is that supposed to be Chin Lee? Or is that guy in the middle Chin Lee? That guy does not look corpulent. Apparently the guy doing the art is did not understand the word corpulent. Ari Montgomery is on some serious fat phobia. Yeah, he isn't drawn corpulent. Yeah, okay. We are definitely not considered a super athlete.
Wait, those people in the background.
What? Those people there? Oh, what are those people doing? I don't know. They were whispering to each other and stuff. I don't know. What are they up to? Page 48. The group listens to you and waits for Chin Lee's reply. I like modesty in the young, Chin Lee says. Your exploits on the racecourse have been noted in the European press. Here, let me introduce Monsieur Art Funk, the well-known American singer, and also Mademoiselle Dominique Pascal. There is a third person, young, male, silent. He bulges with pectoral muscles through his turtleneck. Not even the hint of a smile crosses the taut skin of his face. No one bothers to introduce him. So, now let us partake of these mountains so beautiful, Chin Lee says with an oily tone and a gesture of warmth and kindness. But the eyes in his smiling face are cold and reptilian. They survey you. Fine, I'm ready, you reply. Where to? Oh, do not be impatient. We have wonderful things in store. The woman named Dominique whispers to Muscles, and he runs off on some errand. Skis and packs are loaded into an Unimog, a four-wheel drive Mercedes-Benz mountain vehicle, and the driver insists that all climb into the cab. Moments later, you are chugging along a mountain road that is half snow, half mud, headed for the backcountry. You notice a cloud front moving in slowly from the south and wonder if the day will be short. Mountain storms can be vicious. Horniest choose your own adventure ever. Bulges. Bulges. He bulges. Chin Lee chatters along, barely understandable. Art Funk zeroes in on you. His accent is country and western, and his breath smells as if he works in a garlic factory. His bug eyes seem to suggest poor health and a bad diet. You wonder if he is trying to copy the last days of Elvis Presley. Now listen here, partner. I'm going to be your friend, your real good and true friend. You're going to need one. I'm telling the truth, he says amid clouds of garlic fumes. You fight to keep from moving back from him. Great, Mr. Funk. Everyone needs friends, you muster. None of this Mr. stuff. Art's my handle. Now listen to me. When we get to the hut where we break for grub, you and me, we'll find some time to be alone and talk. Don't trust the others, he says in a very low voice that you can barely hear. Fortunately, the roar of the engine and the babble of conversation between Chin Lee and Dominique covers up what Art is saying. 30 minutes later, the Unimog draws to a stop beside a snowdrift that must have been huge in midwinter, but now is a sodden, soiled lump of snow. Chin Lee leads the way from the Unimog. The skis and packs are unloaded quickly. There is something odd going on, you feel. No one really says anything that is out of the ordinary, but you get the feeling that they are all on edge. We can trust Art Funk, though. I did not have sexual relations with that corpulent woman. I tried it, but I didn't inhale, and I didn't like it. I gave it back to Art Funk, and I said, that's not for me. I feel your pain. Okay, here we are, the driver announces in a heavy English accent. The track is over there. Beware of the narrow valley. Avalanches can happen. I will meet you back here at dusk. Have a good tour. With a wave and a smile, he departs. You look at the departing Unimog, wondering if you will ever see it again. The sun climbs into the sky. The snow on the flanks of the great mountains will begin to work loose from the rock faces by late morning. Already, small showers of ice, snow, and rock cascade down with rattling sounds. While you check your equipment, Dominique leans over and whispers to you. She is careful not to attract the attention of the others. You remember the report on her. Student, lives in Paris and Thailand, speaks Mandarin Chinese. You remind yourself to check the files once again. Valuable clues could be found there, clues that might save your life. Meet me down the trail from the hut that we'll stop at for our lunch. Don't tell anyone. Your life is in danger. She moves away on her cross-country skis. You wait for Chin Lee to approach you with the same proposition. Things often happen in threes. But as this thought enters your head, you remind yourself that there have been only 2 deaths so far. What are we like? Are we looking at her legs or something? I'm not sure what's going on. Some weird things happening here. Between the physical descriptions and the fact that both Chin and Lee are last, I suspect Montgomery attended the J.K. Rowling School of Racial Sensitivity. Yeah, everyone's talking shit on each other. Very true. Yeah, we did not study those files very intently, so who knows. You are wrong. Chin Lee does not approach you. The group sets out on a marked track that leads deep into the mountains. Your skis are the waxless variety, and they slide easily over the firm snow. You notice that Chin Lee is surprisingly adept on skis, striding along with excellent form and energy. Double check his report, you decide. Art Funk, on the other hand, looks like an elephant climbing a sand dune. The track is well defined, but very steep in sections, running through narrow valleys and across open and exposed snowfields. The altitude is sufficient to keep the snow crisp and dry despite the spring sun. But high above, walls of snow, ice, and debris begin to loosen in the warmth of the sun's rays. Tiny avalanches begin to fall well clear of the track, but clouds are moving in, and a sudden storm could change everything. Your pace is slow, but your group covers many kilometers. The party finally arrives at a mountain hut built in the lee of a jumble of huge boulders and rocks. It is close to 1 o'clock. Most of the trees have been left far behind at a gentler altitude. Smoke rises from the hut in a thin thread, but it is welcoming and promises hot drink and warm food. A pair of old cross-country skis stands outside. 2 sets of footprints lead into the hut, one of them quite large, the other medium size. Surprisingly adept for a fatty fat. This guy's things happen in threes. This book just got even thirstier. Sure did. Oh, for Pete's sake. No, we haven't met Pete yet. We don't know anything about him. An axe leans against the wall of the hut, and a rifle rests on a crude chair underneath the overhang of the roof. You like neither one. You wonder what is in store for you now. In the doorway stands Muscles. This time there was a trace of a smile on his face. He holds out a cup of steaming brew, available for the first taker. Psst, psst, comes a hiss from Dominique. Come with me, she whispers, moving up to your side. You nod. You feel like a pinball being knocked around in some giant electronic game. No matter where you turn, there's someone who wants something from you. Art nudges you almost at the same time and gives a meaningful wink. A whiff of garlic accompanies the wink. Dominique darts an anxious look. She is impatient. Muscles is now joined by a wiry, white-skinned, white-haired individual who shouts a greeting that seems more like a command. His English has overtones of an Oxford accent. Welcome to the paradise in the mountains. Above you is the abode of the gods. Joining the gods will be their handmaidens, a storm that brings with it snow, rain, hail, and a reminder of our frailty. Be prepared for a long stay here. There is no going back today, maybe not even tomorrow. He smiles and vanishes into the darkness of the mountain hut. Art Funk, the garlic elephant. Oh, Dan doesn't like my hissing. I'm sorry. The one set of footprints is when the giant, corpulent, rotund man carried you. The white-haired individual is Andy Warhol. You scan the mountains and the sky. Your assessment this morning was correct. There is a storm in the mountains. Already you can feel the first drops of rain mingled with snow. The tops of the peaks are now obscured by clouds. You look back down the track you have just come along. It is well marked, but if the snow dominates the storm, the track may be lost. You have several choices. 1, you could go back now on your own. Just keep your skis on and head down. Wait for no one and make tracks. The first part is downhill. You could be out of rifle range very quickly. 2, you could meet with Dominique. She seems sympathetic, and not in the least dangerous. Perhaps she is an agent of Interpol or some other police network. 3, you could meet with old Garlic Breath himself. It seems as if everyone is waiting for your next move. Even the storm hesitates, unable to decide between flurries and earnest snow or rain. Secrets lie in the files, and more secrets still in the minds of these people. But how do you pry them out and remain healthy? And why did your aunt put you in this position? The question continues to haunt you. Turn to page 24. Come in, soup's on, tea's hot, fire's warm, come in at once, Muscles commands from the doorway of the hut. Dominique gives you a look. Art whistles one of his tunes, and Chin Lee shuffles inside. Your eyes rests on the spot where the rifle was moments before. Now there is a knapsack resting there. The rifle is nowhere to be seen. Interesting. If you decide to go with Dominique, turn to page 60. If you decide to vamoose, turn to page 81. If you decide to meet with Art, turn to page 99. Yeah, so it's either old garlic breath. So it's either Art Funk or Dominique. Or we just vamoose on our own. I guess we definitely don't have the option of just going into the house and getting killed. Rachel says vamoose. And Rob's like, do not go in. So yeah, so we can vamoose or go with Dominique or Art. So should we just vamoose? Like, don't we want to be killed? Maybe. Vamoose sounds like a verb I endorse. Okay, vamoose. Maybe we'll find a moose. Yikes, I'm out of here, you think to yourself. I don't mind storms, and I can handle most racecourses, but I'm drawing the line at kooks and killers. You push off with powerful strokes on your long cross-country poles. Your skis respond, and you hurtle down the track. You expect the singeing crack of a high-powered rifle at any minute, and the sting of a bullet in your back. The track is straight for the first quarter of a mile, but then it dips to the right, follows a narrow line between huge boulders, and skirts the rim of a ravine. A mistake here could be disastrous, but your downhill racing experience serves you well, and the narrow cross-country skis do not falter. You are out of the rock garden and beyond the ravine in record time. Below you lies the beginning of the heavily wooded slopes with their giant fir trees. You seek the cover of these forests because you never know who might be after you. There we go. I wanted to talk to Art Funk so Crystal talk like Bill Clinton more. Partner, I feel your pain. I want you to listen to me very carefully. I did not have sex with that woman. Okay. Suddenly a sharp stinging assaults your eyes. Snow and sleet are falling heavily. A huge cloud descends and obscures the track and the welcoming woods below. Frantically you swipe at your eyes, but still you cannot see. You feel as if you are inside a pillow of goose down. Your skis founder in the thick new snow that has blanketed the track. You are stopped, dead. In a whiteout like this, there is no telling up from down. You are completely disoriented, and any movement on your skis suddenly gives you a dizzy feeling, a vertigo. There is nothing to do but stop, at least for the time being. The blizzard plays around the mountain peaks, and the snow piles up below. Your energy ebbs as your body tries its best to keep warm at the core. When your core temperature, the temperature in your chest cavity, drops below 85 degrees, it will not go back up regardless of what you do. Well, that doesn't sound good. Page 98. You scan the sky for a cloud break, but it remains dense and white like a pillow, and the wind has picked up. In the 30 minutes you have been huddled here beside two rock outcroppings, snow has accumulated and wind has caused a drift of almost a foot. The track is obliterated. You're not sure how much longer you can wait before your body heat drops to dangerous levels. This storm might persist for days. You wonder what you should do. If you decide to wait out the storm, turn to page 108. If you decide to try and head off downhill, turn to page 102. Yeah, razor snow. You know. It's the most dangerous kind. It's punishing us for not going with Art Funk. Yeah, I don't know if I guess we'll keep going downhill. Or do we want to wait? What if our core temperature drops below 85 degrees or something like that? Okay, let's go downhill. You say a small prayer that you will reach the forest below. The trees should shelter you from the storm and give definition to the whiteness. You will be able to navigate down the slope and gain the safety of the town and the highway. And the valley, highway. You promise yourself that when you get back to the Gulf Hotel, you will immediately pack your bags and make tracks. This is not your idea of fun. But the memory of Uncle Gustav comes back quickly. Maybe you should stay and complete your assignment. For now, you concentrate on the tricky descent. There are other ravines and sharp drops before you reach the security of the forest below. A fall, a twisted ankle, or a broken bone could spell disaster. No one would know where to look for you in this storm. You trust your instinct. With amazing good fortune, you reach the firs. Their giant branches are laden with fresh snow. You push on through what feels like a gigantic tunnel. Now and again a tree unloads its branches, and you are covered with snow. But you know that you will make it. You feel your heart pumping strongly, and your breathing is good and steady. Maybe I imagined that those people were after me, you think. It was all my imagination. It's all down here from here. Yep, downhill from here. Page 73. The snow intensifies, and the wind builds drifts. The track becomes worse than before. You build a small shelter from boughs and hunker down out of the wind. An hour passes. You are very cold. You try to think of warm things, but it does no good. I've got to skedaddle, you say out loud. Your words are lost in the wind. Finally, you get back in your skis, and, trusting your instinct, you set off in what you hope is the direction of the town. This is like the millionth time they've used the word trust about your instincts. Our instincts have been pretty crap so far, so... As if by miracle, the wind drops, the snow ceases, and there below, you see the town within your grasp. There seems to be no one behind you, at least for now. You push ahead as fast as you can. Who are these people? What do they want? What did Uncle Gustav really do? These are the thoughts that assault you as you work your way back to town. I'll find out if it kills me, you say. I'll meet with that Siegfried guy. He might be the key to the whole thing. The day after your safe return, you arrange to meet with Siegfried. He insists on meeting for a late breakfast. What's up with this guy and his thing about late breakfast, you wonder? Turn to page 49. Wait, is that taking us right back to having breakfast with Siegfried? Ha! It took us right back to having breakfast. It's the same breakfast we had with him before. Exact same breakfast. Exact same. Okay. Well, do you think I have time to stop? Yeah. Yeah. I think maybe I'm gonna stop here because this took us right back to Siegfried's meeting Siegfried and all of that, and we already did that. So I've been reading for a while. I guess we'll never get to meet Dominique or Art Funk. All that was just to get us to breakfast again. Yeah, breakfast again. So skedaddling led to being back with Siegfried for breakfast. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I guess I'll stop here. If I read these things for like 2 hours or something, maybe we'd get to the point where we got to hang out with Art Funk, but not this time. So yeah, what's this here? Look at these ads. French toast profile. What does that mean? How you can become the star of the next French toast profile. Like this kid here. His favorite movie is Indiana Jones. His favorite activity is bike racing. And his hobby is riding roller coasters. Okay. Alright, I guess. Sounds good. Oh, Motocross Mania. I don't think we read that one. Ooh. I read a lot of these other ones, though. Alright. It's all good. I was feeling pretty corpulent anyway. Yeah, I'm feeling kind of corpulent myself today. I don't know why. It's been kind of a corpulent day, you know, after a 3-day weekend. It's rough, so. Oh, okay. Our instincts were not that great. Time to skedaddle. All right, well, I'm going to sign off then. I thank you all for watching. And, yeah. Hope to see you all in another week. So, have a good week, and I'll see you all soon. Take care.